Like the uncomfortable thing is sometimes the only thing that'll work. Unfortunately, you know, because I mean, for that matter, don't she owe you peace of mind? You got to take care of the fucking matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, why wouldn't she owe you the peace of mind?
She probably said that's what you supposed to do.
You know, like, yeah. I'm just saying that, you know, for me, and you my nigga, you been my nigga for a long time.
No longer understand the
Yo, what's going on, y'all? What's going on, y'all?
Okay, how close to love and not born to serve. Nothing on this planet is guaranteed for fucking you. Do you understand? Get that in your head.
Yeah.
Who the hell thought?
Let's see, we're not raising women like that. I mean, we've been over that. We're raising them to not have accountability. We're raising them to feel like they are the ultimate reward for a guy. So they should have to, do everything head over heels, whatever, in order to get there.
You can call in on the show. You can call in, call info. Put on speakerphone.
Straight, real quick. Yeah, how you ready?
You already picked up. Anyway, I mean, you know, with your situation you got going on, it's just like, you know, you sound like you had 3 generic issues that you need to deal with. Issue number 1 being,
We can't have
you know, she's expecting something of you that you don't want to give. You've got this issue where you're not happy, but you feel like you love her and you don't have to go nowhere, which is not a problem. If you love her, you love her.
Even though the big stereotype, I have seen it where they come over here with this true
You don't have to love something that don't love you
thought
equal.
on how black folk over here.
And like I said,
Oh,
it
yeah.
just don't make
Well, I
sense.
meant that kind of black people.
If she ain't interacting with you the way you want to be interacted with, then
and you automatically
you probably need to goddamn build. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, there's no way in hell.
come
I
over here
keep
and
saying,
like,
there's no way in hell I'm gonna do everything for you, and the small shit you can't do for me. Let me look at my fucking porn if I want to watch my goddamn porn. You know what I'm saying? Allow me to do that. Okay, well then you, yeah, I mean, if she is willing to throw away your relationship because of that situation, then you know how much your value is worth. There's not even a question of what I asked her. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, so that's your value. You're worth enough to.
Or you can be deported. That's how that.
Well, I mean, listen. If she's not acting like she want to negotiate the shit, then what's a nigga to do? You know, nobody's gonna goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just gotta be like, listen, man, this is not what I want to have happen, and we'll see how compromising a person is. You'll know exactly how compromising a person is. You take away everything that you want to do for them.
She wouldn't do that.
You know, and that's not to be like, you know, egging on y'all not being together. But I mean, I don't want to see my nigga goddamn hemmed up in the streets because the chick he fucking with doesn't think he's worth enough to at the very least, you know, come to some goddamn agreement about how you can enjoy being who you are and, you know, keep the relationship right.
He wants people who can take care of him now to this point. Introduce him and they got to know her and whatnot. You know,
but shit,
nice
yeah, man, we about to.
Couple. And I split kind of caught on to.
Well, we about to crank up the show, man. So I'll send you a link to go check out the show. Yeah, in the chat and shit.
Check out the financials. I wasn't really.
Alright, then, would you?
So basically, what I'm happening, you know, that's the point where I realized, okay, this doesn't work.
What's going on with y'all in the Chizat, man? I'm sorry I had to hear that, man. I had to give my homeboy some advice. Man, this chick tripping on him. Yeah, I know Music Monday yesterday was supposed to go down. I came home. A nigga went straight to sleep. Didn't wake up till like 2 a.m. Didn't even eat my food. I bought some food from American Deli. Didn't even eat the shit.
That shit makes no sense. I don't know. I don't understand people's mentality. It's like, why even do all that? Because if you were just gonna sit on your ass,
they won't be on their ass by themselves. That's really all it is.
That's crazy.
That want to be by themselves.
Oh, Spaghetti Rip, thanks for the host, my G.
That's crazy.
They call it misery or something.
Yeah.
Alright, man, so we got a special show tonight, man. It's gonna be a little short one, you know what I'm saying? But alright, cool, we can do that, Iceman. Marty gotta take care of some things today. Speaking of which, Marty got a new look for y'all. Marty, what's going on with him, Marty?
Smooth baby face.
Baby face Marty.
Yo.
Thing look like you dipped that face in some goddamn cocoa butter and oils. What's been happening?
I had to shave for the interview. So,
Oh yeah, let people know what's been going on since the last time they got to see you, Marty.
Yeah, so had to go for another job. Had an interview today. Got another couple companies that, gave me a call and they're interested, so I gotta talk to them throughout this week. But that's what I've been doing. Just trying to get this other job.
That boy, big money Marty. Let me make sure everything sound good. You know what I'm saying? Make sure shit sound right. You know what I mean? Shit, but yeah, man, just I ain't really been doing much, man. I ain't been feeling the best. Last week, your boy was goddamn. I was looking horrible in these streets.
Oh yeah, it was bad.
That nigga woke up with one eye. Like, no, I'm gonna do Music Monday. Is going down. It's going down. No, the fuck it ain't. This man out for the count.
I was trying to do Music Mondays. I was too damn tired. You know what I'm saying? I got off of work. I wanted it to happen. The junk just did not happen how I wanted it to go down, bro. Yeah. Oh shit. But I mean, we're here now. You know what I mean? We're here now.
We are.
Man, we had a lot go on since the last time we were here, man. We had the tournaments out there in Germany, where EU was showing their goddamn ass, putting hands on that boy Jimmy J Tran.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard Tran whenever they caught the business and all that got sent to losers. Got sent to losers.
Got towed up by Knee. Knee put his ass down. You know what I'm saying? They had a great match though. It was Brian versus Brian. That was for the people, so that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, of course.
Nee said, listen, you're not going to be tearing me up on this shit. I don't care if I don't like this character as much as I used to. You're not going to beat me with this motherfucker. From what I understand, Jimmy J got steamrolled by that Jack player. Just tore out the frame. I know Anakin cannot feel very good about that shit because Anakin be struggling, dog. And I know Anakin's probably way better than that Jack player I saw playing.
Hey man, that's really funny because I remember Naps putting out his little tier list and kind of moved Jack down there a little bit, and folks were like, "What are you thinking?" Like, and then he went over and got himself torn up by
got tore up by Jack. The Kane and Lynch dude, he put various hands on that boy Knee. I don't like at first. I will say this. What's going on, Weapon? I will say this. When I first watched them videos of him losing, I just felt like Knee just played horribly. Like I was like, this man doing combos that ain't connecting. This nigga doing all kind of trash. Stuff just wasn't going right for him, and then he just You know, he happened to make enough mistakes where Buddy could infiltrate and win. But what's going on, Joe? With that being said, I mean, he showed himself to be still formidable in the finals. You know, at least in the first portion of it. Then knee tore that ass up. You know, so you know, it's a great weekend for the EU. Our boy Speed Kicks. That boy went back to Harong. One dream hack. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Speed Kicks. Pretty happy about that. Anytime some hometown gold comes through, you know, whether they fuck with me or not, you know, I still feel like, you know, shit, gotta congratulate folks.
Yeah. I'm just glad he finally came to his senses and just was like, I'm just gonna pick wrong
and make it happen.
I'm gonna just make it happen, go body some people. And so he's been needing to do that, in my opinion. Like, that was like the one thing with Speed Kicks I thought was like, look, man, just use your character that got you here. Like, just sit down, learn what you need to learn.
I'm taking Jack to the next tournament. Fuck that shit. Fuck this king shit. Yeah. I'm doing low moves, nigga.
Oh, do it. Go for it.
You know,
go for it. See what happens.
Shit.
So I mean, you know, shout out to Speed Kicks. Like, I'm glad that he went and, you know, he did his thing. So,
you know what I'm saying? That's what's up. That's what is up. What y'all saying no for, man? I'm about to make this shit easy on myself. Fucking low moves. I'm gonna go get Paul. Be death fisting and sweeping the holy shit out of folks. Hey. Down forward 2 in the goddamn. When I got dang hot minute. Thanks for that host, Weapon. I don't blame you, brother. You got the goddamn. Sometimes you just want to damn get them niggas up out of there. Look, niggas do not be feeling them throws. Niggas be sidestepping, ducking out of range.
Feeling crazy shit. Yeah, throws.
Listen, man. That hell sweep, niggas just eating them shits. You ain't ready for it, your ass is just gonna eat that shit. Shit, man.
Well, I mean, you know, it's a numbers game. Like, if I get thrown by king, especially if it's like, you know, a multi-throw.
Yeah, but just choose not to break that. I mean, break that one all the time.
I won't get a ton of damage put on me, but then, like, if it's a hell sweep, you know, I'm gonna eat a little bit of damage.
People's mind is so
put in the mix. I'm telling you, people play a numbers game when
they're so irrational when it comes to king, though. Because I'd be like, you know what, y'all will duck king and eat a combo that'll take more than every throw he does, except for the big throws, and you can always break the big throws. So you could, if you really want to play the numbers game, why not just always take the throw?
Just stand there and always break the big throw?
Yeah, and always break the big throw. And try to avoid throws as much as you possibly can. That's how I play king. I'm not ducking that motherfucker. It's going to be hard as fuck for him to get a throw in anyway.
I mean, I guess that's true.
You know, and don't be trying to be smart, breaking all the goddamn throws. That's how you end up losing your life. You know, you fuck around and be like, oh, I'm gonna be smart. I'm gonna break the goddamn medium damage. The nigga does the big damage, and now you're dead. Well, you would have been a living. He would have had to do that shit to you 2 or 3 more times. You know what I'm saying? Now your ass is out of there. You know, but you know, that's neither here nor there, man. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, I was really surprised by the EU. They did their thing. Jimmy J had some choice words to say. I think he said on the average EU player is better than the average American player in his eyes. But the top players of America are probably far more superior than the ones over there. Which I don't know how you can say that because he got toe up. But I mean, I guess, you know, maybe he played a few good games every once in a while. And maybe
he's not gonna say nothing bad about himself. You know, it's like, you know, he's gonna say something about the average player, but then since he's a top US player, I mean, he's obviously gonna say like, oh, well, I mean, you know, we're still superior to them at the top, but you all need to step your game up. I mean, he's that kind of guy. So
well, you know, whatever it takes, I guess, to keep yourself right.
Whatever helps you sleep at night.
How do we feel about that statement made by Trent and JDCR's slump? What is this goddamn slump? I mean, what was the statement made? I didn't know he made a statement about it.
Well, no, I think it's just the statement that you just talked about the U.S. players.
Oh, okay.
I assume that's what Ice is talking about. But I mean, so far as I go, I mean, I haven't really played anybody from Europe, like, or from the EU at all. So, like, it'll be hard for me to gauge what's
good and what ain't.
Yeah, and so far as what he's saying, but I mean, I just don't see. I don't see it because with the access, I guess, that players have to higher level play here and whatever, if you're going to call the top echelon in the U.S. better, but then the average player in Europe is going to be better, like, I just don't see it unless they're just doing something with their community that we haven't really heard of or anything like that. Because, I mean, information and knowledge seems to be pretty free-flowing in Tekken. Like, it seems like people, are willing to play and train with people. So I just don't see it. If the higher echelon is going to be better, and then they're playing and sharing information and stuff with, like, the mid and lower echelons, I don't see how the average person could be better over there than they could be here. Like maybe they're better specifically against the way he plays or something. Possibly. But overall, I just don't see it.
I think maybe they might have a different type of drive than the American players. Like, I don't really know much about the EU. I know when they came to final round, they seemed to do pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing outrageously well, but I mean, you had people like Blackbeard putting America's Josie down.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Fergus.
Fergus made it pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they definitely have. They're no slouch. It's not like years past where they might come and there was not even the reason for you to know who they were.
Yeah.
Outside a few names, maybe like Ryan Hart. I don't even know if I knew any EU players before that. So they're definitely stepping their game up. I think the general idea, same thing Joe said right there. I think in general, regions are just getting better because they have the game. The game's been out for a year, where we didn't have the game and they had the game for 4 or 5 years. It would only stand to reason that a JDCR would be running wild on somebody who got less than, a month of experience.
And so far as JDCR goes, Ice, is what I've talked about with Mike before, and I may have said it on the stream before, but people are starting to catch on and challenge JDCR. It's like I said, his play is mostly dependent upon him making preemptive decisions to move at certain times. He'll come in your face with Dragunov or something, and then he'll just buffer in okay, he's gonna swing with this, and then he'll buffer a sidestep right or something. But I think people are just starting to catch on and are just throwing things in certain areas where they see him preemptively step, and they're just catching him with stuff. And the past few times I've seen him lose, that's where I've seen him lose, particularly when he's gone to a Japanese tournament or something. That's how they'll catch him a lot of times, is they'll be okay, he did this and he's probably going to step this certain way, so I'm going to do this step killing thing, or I'm going to wait for him to step and then I'm going to do something else so that he doesn't get whatever setup he was looking for or something. It's I just feel people are catching on to that, and he's going to need to come up with something else, I feel, at the top echelon of play in order for him to continue to, to compete to win.
Now, you make an interesting point there, Weapon. He said that he knows that the execution focused EU players are what he's noticed throughout the years, but they're normally stiff and box minded, so they don't really play out of the box, which I think is what makes Kane and Trench so much of a standout over there, is because he's playing a character where thinking outside the box is the best way to play the character. I don't know that I saw him do a lot of stuff that was super execution heavy. But he had more of like what you would consider a American play style from what I saw. He was a little bit sloppy, a little bit, but at the end of the day, you could tell that he was a lot different than the other players I saw playing there. That Jack player, Guinea, he reminded me a lot of like myself. Like he was real solid, not taking a lot of big chances. But where he faltered was once the pressure got put on him, he didn't start alleviating the pressure by taking chances. He just assumed he was going to block everything.
Okay, he just continued to wall up.
Yeah. Definitely was an interesting tournament though, man. I enjoyed it. You know, probably one of the better, more exciting, and well put together tournaments I've seen in a minute. You know, they had good. Not only was the tournament ran very smoothly, they had pretty good ideas. Their finals was 4 out of 7, like way back in the day. I think top 8 was all 3 out of 5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
If I remember correctly.
That's definitely old school.
Another thing about it was pretty dope. Like they did player interviews, like after the match.
Oh, nice.
You know, got them over here on the couch, thought about some stuff, talked about what they were thinking about in the match. I thought it was really put together very well. Probably a good model to put in place for future tournaments.
Yeah, for future events. I always like when they do that because that's always one of the more interesting things to me is when they do the player interviews and they ask them like about key moments in the match. And it's like, like when you saw this, what ran through your mind, what were you thinking about? And they're like, oh, I've seen him use that setup before, so I wanted to do this, or like, oh, I didn't know what setup he was doing, so like I just went for this option or whatever. Like it's just really interesting to me to see what is running through a player's mind when they get put in those situations.
True enough.
So I've always liked the player interview. I always thought that was a really cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's we get more and more away from that kind of thing, which brings up our next topic, which is the human interaction. Like, what has happened to human interaction? You know what I'm saying? It's been you take for instance like the talking to the players, getting to know the players, getting to be personal with the community. There was a point in time where they used to make DVDs of these tournaments before they were streaming, and they would take the players out on the DVD and they would ask them questions about them. You would learn about the top players. So like final round, they might have Clint. They'll do a Clint interview. They might do an interview of whoever's Justin Wong interview.
Yeah.
When you go buy the DVD, you can watch it. You can get to learn about your favorite players, learn about their background, how they feel during the competition. That kind of stuff I think is getting overlooked. And not just in gaming. Also in everyday life. I think we were talking about it earlier, and when it comes down to it, somewhere around maybe like the 90s, maybe maybe late 80s, till our current day, there's just been a decline of human interaction. Most would probably blame it on technology.
Technology has a big hand in it. Huge hand in it.
I think the idea that you can talk to more people than ever. Like right now, with this technology, you and me are able to reach out and talk to average video game Joe. Subtle Puddle, you know what I'm saying? We could talk to Weapon. We could talk to Iceman. We could talk to Professor Hockey. We could talk to everybody at the same time.
Yep. Shout
out to everybody else in the chat. That ain't name. I ain't see your name right here in front of me. But, you know what I'm saying? We can reach out and have these conversations with them. They can talk back and text back. So there is some progressive human interaction that can be done that was not possible before. But in the general society, I find that it's because people are so used to interacting in this manner that when they get face to face, people are often weirded out. They don't really know how to handle conversations. They think it's weird if you look them in the eye and talk to them. Almost feels intimidating.
Yeah.
You know, I can't speak for everybody. Scarzer, what's going on with you, homie? I also should put this on the IRL. I left it on the text. But yeah, you know, the idea that people, especially like go out on a date. If I go out on a date with like a young chick, these chicks are always in their fucking phone.
Oh yeah.
You know, they're taking pictures of themselves, taking pictures of the food. It's like, okay. Well, you know, these people could have just looked on the menu. The food looked fairly similar. I don't know what you're taking a picture of. You didn't cook this food. I mean, does that plate just look very... Do you like plates of food? Because there's anything on the internet, you can find plenty of plates of food. If you like pictures of food.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a lot of stuff I feel now is based off the optics of what society outside of reality is going to think. You know, and when I say outside of reality, I mean like the people that you're in front of. You know, the people that are actually in your goddamn local area. You know, in your immediate area. People have a hard time dealing with that. And I think that has been brought about, you know, let's just talk about like the dating scene, right?
Okay.
You know, I ain't super old, but I'm old enough to have experienced dating before the internet was popping. You know, like really heavily popping. And even then, when it wasn't heavily popping, let's say maybe like 2000, right? The internet was around. But the biggest thing you had was like party chat lines, you know.
Oh yeah, that's actually what I was thinking of when as soon as you said that, I was like, oh yeah.
You know, you had
the party line.
The party line. You had the AOL popping off. For y'all don't know about AOL, well, there's nothing I can tell you. It was a very super slow version of nothing that y'all do today, because it would actually be like Twitch chat, but random people that you don't know, which I guess is like Twitch chat. The idea that, you know, human interaction isn't what it used to be. Like, a woman used to be excited to deal with a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, if a chick gave you her phone number back in the day, then she was expecting a phone call, and she was happy to talk to you.
Was fake,
yeah, unless it was fake, you know.
Yeah, unless it was a fake number, but yeah.
You know, but she was happy for you to call her, and then you was gonna get that call back. You know what I'm saying? Chicks used to come over your crib. They would bring you stuff to eat. Like, there was a sense that you had a worth to her the same way she had a worth to you. Yeah, I got Hotmail my damn self. You know I'm old. But in this new age, you know, you got dudes trying to flex, you know, out there doing shit that they know they ain't, acting like they're doing shit they know they ain't doing, you know, pulling a bow wow. You got chicks who they no longer, you know, they no longer have the same outlook on things, where she used to value your attention that you would give her. You know, now she just pop a picture on Snapchat.
She can find that attention elsewhere.
Find that attention from 1,000 dudes. Does not even care if you call her or not. With that being the case, it's kind of like, man, you know, the human interaction aspect of it all begins to start to fade away. You know, people are now, you go somewhere, you see like a group of folks on phones at a table. Why the fuck y'all come out to eat?
Yeah, I don't understand that, because you got literally like, I went out to eat with some friends fairly recently, and like, there were 5 of us, right? And I think I was the only one that wasn't consistently on my phone, but it's like, there's a group of 5 of us, and everybody's staring down, just like, looking through whatever social media feed they want, and it's like, man, really? Like, we're all here chilling with each other, and nobody's talking because everybody wants to see what's on their social media feed. And
what's going on, Zilla?
And that's wild. And people, in the science field, particularly like psychology and neurology and stuff, they kind of saw this coming because, the brain craves stimulation. So it craves stimuli. So the more that you stimulate the brain with certain things, the more it's going to crave that stimulus. So when you continuously look for information on social media feeds and you constantly want to go back and refresh and see what else is happening on that feed, and so you constantly look for that stimulus, and so you're going to do that without talking to anybody, and just like you said, it's kind of created a society where we all have trouble talking to each other face to face, and you have more people coming out and saying that they have social anxiety and all of this stuff, and
that leads to the drug abuse going up. The drug abuse rates going up because people having anxiety don't know how to be around folks. So the only way they know how to interact with people is be out of their fucking mind.
And that's where you got the other part of society where like people feel that they can't have a good time doing anything unless they're drinking or unless they're doing some kind of drug or something. And our media doesn't help with the constant like commercials of people being on beaches and having a good time, having the time of their lives, and the only way that they're having it is with this beer. And so it's
Corona commercial, maybe.
That's the biggest example.
Boom.
Yeah, that's the big example.
Thirsty, my friend.
Yeah, saying that Dos Equis stuff, like they put commercials of all these people having fun and having the time of their lives, and the beer is the centerpiece of it. It's like everybody's like, oh yeah, we just wouldn't be here without this beer, and like everybody cheers and drinking, and I'm not saying that like drinking is the most horrible thing ever or anything like
and it's existed for forever.
It definitely has more cons than pros, but what I'm talking about is just them basically a type of like manipulation, is the showing that, look, see how much better of a time you have if you just have this alcohol or
just take
whatever.
this sip,
so,
man.
Yeah, he's like, go ahead and drink a bottle.
Plus, you're gonna be on a boat with a bunch of bad bitches if you got this Corona on deck.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And it's funny, obviously, I'm an older guy. You're an older guy. We've seen the change happen. I can't even imagine what it's like for somebody who's always grown up in this, who's never known that human interaction. Like, I'll put a good example on you. How many people in the chat can remember the last time they just had like a 3-hour conversation with a chick on the phone?
Oh, with a woman on the phone? Oh man.
Shit, how? Maybe even with a person on the phone. That
with
wasn't
person,
at a job.
Oh, with a person.
That wasn't your family.
I said with a person, I've definitely done that with Iceman.
Hey, but
we talked about like sports and.
But y'all both old ass niggas, okay?
Well, yeah, okay.
Okay, but yeah, when it comes down to like having like personal, like it's hard that people don't want to talk on the phone to each other. These motherfuckers want to text. And I done found myself being guilty of it from time to time, being like, you know what? I just want to say what's up to a person, but I don't really want to talk to this motherfucker.
See, I'm the complete opposite. Like, I hate using text messaging. The only reason that I use text messaging to communicate with people is like a couple situations. Like, if I have just like a very short question to ask somebody, and I'm just like, hey, what does this mean? Or like, what's this? Or something like, just something really short or whatever, then I'll send a text message. Like, for me, the only reason I do it is for that, and the fact that most people I know would rather do that instead of talking on the phone. Like, for example, one of my best friends, Mark, he never picks up his phone if you try to call him. Like, hardly ever. Like, it's very hard for me to get him on the phone anyway. I mean, I've seen him answer it if it's like, his girlfriend or something, but like, generally it's very hard for me to get him to pick up the phone like for a voice conversation.
My bad, Ice Man. I mean, throw you under the goddamn old bus.
Yeah. But like, I mean, if I text him though, or send him like, you know, a message on Facebook Messenger or some kind of text related message, then he's pretty prompt to respond most of the time.
And that's because he's probably swept up. I mean, sometimes the convenience of texting, sometimes it's just, for me, I know sometimes the convenience is what makes it appeasing. But I don't want to have a long ass text conversation. Like if I'm texting you, it's because I don't want to have a long ass conversation. If I want to have a long ass conversation, I would pick the phone up and call your ass. Yeah. You know. The problem is with a lot of people nowadays is that they pick the phone up, they don't know what the fuck to do. If they have to actually say something and they can't hide behind the veil of time that it takes, you know, the veil of, I don't know if you got this message yet, so you may not have to respond to me till, you know, later when the weight of this conversation is not as heavy or not as valid anymore. I think people use it kind of as a defense mechanism, somewhat of a deflection, and because they're not accustomed. It's like kids not going out and playing outside as much as they once were. There was a point in time where that was all you had. You know? Yeah. If you were playing in the house, you probably was just being super sheltered. Probably didn't have nothing to do in the house. You probably was a goddamn reedy book motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Which ain't nothing wrong with being a reedy book motherfucker, but goddamn, you know what I'm saying? That just was the thing to do. I know when I came up, even though my neighborhood was fucked up, I at least got to go in my own backyard and play.
Yeah.
Damn, I miss Scruffy, dog. Can we have a moment of silence for that boy Scruffy right quick, you know what I'm saying? Let me have a quick moment of silence for my boy Scruffy.
Alright.
Holla at your boy Scruffy. You know what I'm saying? But,
oh yeah, I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying. Like, yeah. Even though I played video games a good amount as a kid, I also played outside a lot as a kid because, you know, I played sports and stuff, and so you really don't see that very much now. Like even in my neighborhood, and I look out, and there's really not that many kids out there. There's like a couple that come by on skateboards or bikes or something, but for the most part, people are staying inside. And I mean, with the advances in technology, you have so much more to do inside. I mean, hell, you got a computer, you got multiple gaming systems, you have your phone,
you got TVs that do everything.
I'll be back.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that happens. That you know.
I'm alright.
I'm about to say so myself. I mean, I've noticed that in my years, life has changed so fast. It's almost like online dating. I remember back in the day when a fool was online dating, that junk was like a goddamn curse. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you online dating? Niggas looked at you like you was strange as fuck. Now, that junk is just the norm. You know what I'm saying? Not that nothing's wrong with online dating, because, you know, you get out there and, you know, you get to meet people you don't normally get to meet. But, you know, that also hinders that interaction, because much like what I was speaking about before, when it comes to the attention and the way people are, you know, getting swept up, you know,
online dating.
You know, you got people catfishing folks. You got people portraying that they living a life they ain't living. You got all kind of crazy stuff going on. You got people who's getting like so much false attention that they don't even got time to really deal with you on a person by person basis. You know, all of this stuff happens, and you know, the real thing that it boils down to is just like society's just becoming lazy. You know, this technology is really putting a damper on human interactions.
It definitely is, and definitely a big hamper on trying to get a date or trying to date somebody good. Online dating is, it's not the worst thing in the world. I mean, I've had a few experiences with it, and while it's not the worst thing in the world, it definitely is not great. It's just like you said, like there's a lot of stuff that just goes wrong with it. But I mean, that's everything in life. People ruin pretty much everything. Like things are intended, you know, for a certain purpose and can be good, and then you can't stop people from being people. So some people use it for bad things.
That's true.
Just the way it goes.
You know, I think the idea of people being so caught up in like this cyber persona, you know, chicks. I meet chicks now, and they want to ask me about, you know, my IG, you know, my Facebook, what's my goddamn Twitter hitting on, and I'm like, why don't you just give me your fucking phone number? Why do I need to contact you on
Twitter, Instagram?
Yeah, why do I need to contact you on Instagram, a photo app? Why do I need to go on a photo app to have a conversation with you? That's not even what that damn app is for.
You know what it's turning into? I know you're a Black Mirror fan. You used to, Twan.
Oh yeah.
But,
that episode with them likes.
Yep.
You know it.
Yeah.
The episode of the likes. Yeah. Where like people were like, well, I don't know if I can talk to you. I mean, you're a 3.8, so
exactly.
That's
Have motherfuckers walking down the street doing
That's
that.
exactly what I was getting at. Like, you know, people want to be like, hey man, I want to make sure this nigga got, you know, 15,000 goddamn followers. Oh, I might can holler at him. Like 15,000 people I don't know. You know, I actually have like 30 actual friends. How about that? How many people do you actually know that you can call friends? Or that you can call over to help you do something? You know, but that's not impressive, because what people can actually do for you is not a good optic, because nobody can't see that shit. You know, I need my IG to be popping.
You want me to share the experiences, MPU, online date? I'll share one, and it's just because we didn't even get to the date, because this kind of ties into what you talk about, communicating with people. I was on what is it? OkCupid, I think is what I was on, right? And
you went on Plenty of Freaks, bro?
POF, baby.
Hell no. I ain't trying to get robbed. That's the worst. That's the worst place. Like, you want to get robbed or stabbed or something? When you go to meet your date, plentyoffish.com. Right? Oh man, that shit.
It ain't that bad.
But yeah, so like, this chick hits me up, right? And she says that, you know, she's interested and wants to talk to me. And so we try to talk, and like, I couldn't really get much out of her. And the reason why was because I guess she just had like trouble communicating with me, or communicating on the level that I wanted her to communicate on, or something. But like, I kept trying to ask her what her interests were, like what her hobbies were and whatever. And then she talked, you know, about being a Christian or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, that's cool. Like, do you have anything else that, you know, you do that you're interested in, you know, besides being a Christian? And then she tried to throw a line and say, you know, she's interested in me. And I was like, well, obviously, because we're talking, but, you know, I'm trying to know you.
Is that the line you hit her with? Well,
that's the line she hit me with.
No, did you say, well, obviously? Did you type, well, obviously?
Well, yeah, I did.
That's why it didn't go nowhere, Marty. You got that, made her feel like an idiot. Okay?
Okay.
You got her the fuck up out of there with that.
I mean, you know what? You're probably right. But
not to say that you were wrong, because...
But, like, I was irritated at that point, honestly. Like, I was honestly irritated at that point, because I was trying to get to know her as a person, and I was trying to get out of her stuff that she was interested in.
What's your IG
and
look
then,
like?
Huh?
What's your IG look like?
Do I even have... I do have an Instagram, but I've never used it.
Marty, we gotta get you right, okay? One. You need to get this goddamn... You get this damn Instagram popping, Marty. You see this? You got the smooth ass face too, Marty. And Marty got the good ass hair. Listen, True 404 wish he had that great hair. Okay. Holla at your boy True. Came by here with some ACs the other day.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, that way it gets hot as hell in this house.
But yeah, you know.
But I mean, it's the reason why I share that is because I feel that right there is a culmination of what's happening with our culture in general, so far as like meeting people and stuff like that. Because it's like, boom, she instantly just wanted to talk about, you know, she just wanted to talk about like a hookup or whatever. Which, okay, cool, but if I'm asking you a question about like stuff you like or I want to know about you as a person, you can't answer me, I'm cutting the conversation off.
Tell her you
because that's a waste of time.
Waste my fucking time.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. That's not.
Tell her that pussy is necessary, but it's important, but it ain't special. Okay?
Exactly. Like if that's all you have to offer me, honestly, I'm not interested. Like if all you have to offer is sex, no.
Say if you get that hard,
I enjoy sex just as much as anybody else.
So
but
you
it's
can get
like,
you a prostitute if that hard. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But it's like, you know, if I'm trying to talk to you, because we're talking about dating or getting some kind of relationship going, then I want to know more about you to see if you're worth my time. You know, worth me taking my time and investing my time in you, or do you just have nothing to offer besides sex? And if that is, then you're getting kicked to the curb, and I'm moving on, and I'm gonna go find something that's worth my time. And so that's kind of what I'm getting at with like the way people do things now with, you know, our culture and our dating scene and everything like that. Like a lot of it is just really superficial stuff, and like people and in particular women look for a lot of those superficial things.
Yeah.
You know,
which ain't ever really changed, but it has changed a lot. Really.
It has changed significantly, I feel, because like especially with the access
to other
avenues to get attention.
Yeah.
Like that's one of the biggest things. And so it's like, oh well, I can go thirst trap online and get 1,000 dudes, you know, to hit up my DMs
and that's so crazy to me. I don't know if we got any chicks in here. Well, I know high kicks in here.
Oh no.
You said what?
You might have to make a little. Oh god damn.
Oh, somebody popping off on Swan about
somebody
this.
popping off about the board. Oh yeah, you know we got the ATL, the East Point taking off board now.
You might have to make a quick insert about the board.
All right, we'll talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you know, when it comes down to it, yeah, you know, women. I don't know how many of y'all are in here, but you know, what is your?
Oh, the JTO story, POF. Oh man, that story.
Oh shit.
No. Oh no, I swear. I don't know if we could tell that.
I would be trying to get there.
I know.
Ice Man with the stories, man.
Oh shit.
Story time with Ice Man. We gotta have it.
Do I know the goddamn? I don't even know the story, JTO and POF.
You got to have it.
Shit.
Oh yeah. I guess we gotta tell it now. I guess I shouldn't have said anything.
Yeah, you done brought it up now.
I mean, it wasn't me. I mean, it already was in the chat. So.
You brought it to the goddamn vocal cords, Marty.
Oh my god! Like, I don't even know I don't remember the full story. I remember essentially what happened was like he got fucking set up on Plenty of Fish, so people tried to jump and rob his ass, and whatever. But he ended up not having it happen to him or whatever. Ice knows the story better than I do, but.
Yeah, I'm out the loop on all that shit, Ice Man. You know, I be staying to myself, man. I don't even know when this happened. You know, I didn't even know that this was a story.
Had to be a reason. I mean, because on POF, you right.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Okay. Okay, guys, tune in Friday.
Yeah, make sure y'all come through Friday then.
Yeah, come through Friday. I'll probably be here Friday also. So.
You know, we might have a special edition.
Special edition on
we
Friday.
did not too long ago.
That sounds good. We can do that.
But yeah, you know, it's just the validation. I mean, I feel like the idea that the U.S. or the Western culture, it only promotes superficial living and lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So people are not interested in the real. You know, and because that's the case, it brings down the value of relationships. It brings down the importance of being able to interact with people and having actual social skills. You know, like we said, it raises the need for medication to deal with anxiety in situations that 20, 30 years ago was normal situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew a person who, you know, I went out on a date with her. Let's not throw her under the bus, but I'm throwing her under the bus, fuck it. You know, you know, she was a nervous wreck. She couldn't look me in the eyes and talk to me. You know, like you talk to her and you look in the eyes, she just kind of like, she looked down. You know, she didn't know how to talk without being in her phone. Much like your person, like you ask her anything direct, and anything that's about anything, she don't got no opinion on it. She doesn't know how to feel about that shit. You know, and it's kind of like, okay, well, how about some superficial shit? Like, what about Kanye's new album? Oh, this shit is the best shit ever. I love it. I love it. Well, what do you love about it particularly? I just love how he puts the music together. I love the way it sounds. Like, what do you like about how it sounds? You know, I just like it just vibes, man. And it's like, okay, so do you like any of the topics? Anything? I don't really get into all that. I just put it in.
I would have strangled this person. Like, I can't. Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? And then for me, it was like, okay.
He sent us in the chat, got that Marty.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, oh man, here we go. I can't even have a conversation with you. Like, you're a numbskull. You know, and that's not to put the person down, but they're a fucking numbskull. They were superficial. If we couldn't have a talk,
numbskull, that's a put down.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you can't have a conversation about anything that involves any intellectual stimulation.
And that absolutely, like, that's my biggest pet peeve. Like, or one of my biggest pet peeves is when, you know, you ask somebody their opinion on something, right? And you're like, okay, well, why do you like this, or why do you dislike this? And they can't give you an answer, or they say, I don't know, I just do, or I don't know, I just don't. That's infuriating to me. Because it's like, you obviously have a reason why you like or dislike something. Like, you're not going to just have an experience and just be like, oh, no, I just like it or dislike it just because I randomly do. Like, no, you're going to have a reason why. Like, express that reason. That's all I ask. Like, why do you like it? Why do you dislike it? If we disagree or whatever, and it's something subjective,
juice,
you know, it's something subjective or whatever, fine. We're just gonna, you know, we're gonna have a difference of opinion, or we have the same opinion. But express the opinion. Don't just like.
Wait, Marty. I know how you get when you got a difference of opinion. Do you be scaring them chicks off the goddamn dates, Marty? Like, you're fucking stupid, you know? Do you have?
Sometimes I might have. I think I might have done that.
Have you geo'd them? You know what I'm saying? I know y'all be having them heated debates sometimes.
Oh my god!
Shout out my boy Gio. I don't know where yet. Hope he's still alive.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Gio. I mean, Gio's my boy. I love him and everything, but
that man's an infuriating conversationalist.
Yes, he drives me up a wall because he'll be saying a lot of things that generally don't make sense.
Well, at least he's talking.
Yeah.
Because I met, heck, there's a chick that wanted to do, if y'all come around the house a whole lot, y'all may have seen her back in the day. She's another one of these chicks that was just superficial. Like, she asked me what I knew about her. And I was like, you know, I don't know nothing about you. No, I think one day I was just like, I don't know nothing about you. You know, like, all I know is you like to eat. You say you like movies. And, you know, you like dick. You know, I don't know. I don't know nothing else about you. I'd have known you for like almost a year and some change. You know, and I got no idea about the person you are. And then, you know, I tried to have this conversation, and the person got offended that that's all I knew about them. They were like, well, you know, you should just know more about me than that. I was like, well, what do you tell me? It's like, well, you know, I like to travel and stuff. I was like, well, you do travel, but what do you like about travel? Like, I don't know nothing about you as a person, you know? Everybody likes to travel, I assume. You know, if you got the money or the means, people like to travel. You know, those are all generic things. You know, what is it about you specifically that I should be interested in? You know, I never got an answer to that shit.
Oh, of course.
You know, did send me some goddamn pictures, so I was happy with that. But, you know, at the end of the day, that person had to get, you know, pretty much shoved out of my life, because it's kind of like, while you're cool, you're a dope person. You know what? I just can't fuck with you like that. You know. Then she told me about she had the mentality her daddy instilled in her that a nigga's supposed to pay for everything. You know how I was feeling about that shit.
Oh yeah, I know.
Hell no. I'm not paying for everything. If you want to look, I'm willing to take care of everything if you're not trying to hit me with that goddamn feminist talk. Don't hit me with the feminist talk when it's applicable to what you want it to be applicable to. And then the other times you don't want to hear that shit. It's either equal or you goddamn, it's equal or traditional. Which one you rolling with? I ain't finna roll with both of them. You know what I'm saying? But that's for another time. You know, but she was definitely on some, she was far out there with her thought process. Sweet girl, you know what I'm saying? Cool girl, but you know, she was swept up in what we talking about now. You know, she was swept up in the technology.
You know, I had to shave it, you know, I had to hit the pavement for them job interviews today, so, you know, I had to shave it. What's going on, Christian? So, yeah, man, I mean, I definitely understand what you're saying, and I'm definitely straight on the man's supposed to pay for everything if we're just dating or, like, just started dating. Like, I can't stand that stuff. Like, we're on, like, first or second date or something. Like, I just met this person. It's talking about, like, oh, you aren't gonna pay for everything? Like, no, I'm not.
What up, Chill?
That is not what's happening. Like, I'm not doing that.
You know, and I don't even necessarily have an issue with paying for stuff, but just, you know, because I grew up like a traditional way. You know what I'm saying? And there are things about me, like the way I see the world is a lot different now than where I used to see it. So I'm much more likely to be like, let's split this shit until I find out that I like you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm much more likely to do that shit.
But see, like,
yeah, it's cold as fuck in here,
like,
bit man.
I mean, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, when you just meet somebody or whatever, it's like you haven't really like formed a relationship yet. Like, you're just like two people who are trying to get to know each other, and it's like, oh, but you know, I should just pay for everything and just give you a bunch of free stuff, trying to get to know you. It's like, no, like once we're in a relationship like that, yeah, I'll probably feel more inclined, you know, to treat the person that I like to food.
Yeah, and you
or
know,
whatever. I do that with friends a lot of times, even like, you know, we'll go somewhere and like, you know, I'll buy them something to eat or whatever. Like we'll go to a restaurant, watch sports, something will be on me or something like that. I mean, I do that sometimes with friends, so of course I'm gonna do that with my significant other, but not some chick I just met. They're like, no, I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
And that goes back to, you know, the entitlement that is driven by, once again, this technology. You know, it's kind of like, while that has probably been traditionally the case, the woman didn't traditionally always act the same way. Because, you know, she might be able to post a picture on Instagram, on Twitter, and have, you know, 500 niggas like that shit in 2 minutes. And, you know, some niggas trying to hit on her before she can goddamn close the app. You know what I'm saying? Her value in her mind is that she is worth way more than what she is. And this is not to say that women are worthless, but your value, I feel like the value of women is absurdly high, and the value of men is next to nothing. You know what I'm saying? And the idea is, you know, we're pretty much expendable, and, you know, they're pretty much almost untouchable. And in order for our society to balance out, you know, I doubt that the reverence of men is ever going to go up, because we've been the same since the beginning of time. We're service industry workers, you know what I'm saying? We go out there, we provide a service, protect, provider, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, oversight. You know, that's kind of what we do.
Yeah.
Somewhere around the line, what's going on, Mata? Somewhere around the line, you know, things got blurred, and, you know, the woman's value to herself and to society shot far above anything that anybody can afford. Any sensible person can afford. You know, And that's a problem because a lot of the time, you know, we as a society, we get swept up in those superficial aspects. You know, you and I, what's going on, Raffles? We may not be a part of it, right? But just like I was saying, I find myself on Twitter from time to time, you know, posting something. And I'm like, when is somebody gonna how many people gonna check this shit out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, while it may not be the most important thing to me, it was never a thing to me until I had to get on here for Twitch.
Exactly.
You know?
So it's still something that you think about.
Yeah.
And it's something that's entered your life.
It's entered my life. Something that I was doing I've never had a Facebook page ever in life. Do you know when I tell people that, they be like, what? Are you a serial killer? Like, what's wrong with you? Are you trying to hide something? Are you married? I feel like, no, I just don't.
Being married have to do.
You know, they think I'm trying to hide a relationship or some shit. I be like, man, no, I just don't fuck with online like that. It's just not my thing. You know, I had a Black Planet page because I was doing music and they had a music section. I had a POF because I wanted some draws. You know what I'm saying? I had an OK Cupid because I wanted some draws. I wanted to see what it was like. I ain't got Facebook, so I never could get Tinder. But none of that stuff has ever been, to me, has been of any importance.
Well, I mean, here's one aspect of it is it's very difficult nowadays unless, let's just face it, you're like a good-looking person or someone that's attractive, to be able to just go up and talk to people or like specifically talk to the opposite sex. And even more specifically, a man talking to a woman on the street without it being viewed as some kind of harassment or something like that. Because I mean, you know, I'm a pretty self-aware guy. I'm not the best looking guy in the world. So like,
I don't know, Marty. You got
so,
smooth chin, brother.
I don't. Even with the smooth face, like you know, no, I'm not really that great looking of a guy. So it would be difficult for me, especially me being a larger guy as well, to just walk up to a woman on the street and, you know, start talking to her or whatever, or start trying, you know, to get to know her or whatever, because I'm probably gonna get flagged for some kind of assault, like sexual assault or like some kind of
whoa, this big chocolate nigga is trying to talk to my ass. This nigga here is harassing the fuck out of me.
Exactly.
Ma'am, I just said, hey, I was just gonna comment on your blouse. Thought it was pretty nice. Nigga said he want me out of my clothes.
Right now, if she finds you attractive or something, then
you can do what I do, just talk kind of crazy.
Yeah, like that's actually a good example. You're able to just say ridiculous stuff.
I say some of the most crazy stuff.
Yeah, because
but I don't think that you couldn't. I think that you just felt like you wanted to. Look, I don't be giving a damn. You know what I'm saying? I think you could get away with not. I done seen much worse looking dudes pull better looking chicks than I done pulled before. They just don't give a fuck, you know. Think of a guy like I don't know if you know Patrice O'Neal. You know, obviously he was a superstar of some sort, you know. So that may have played, comedian. You know, that played into it. But
of course, you know,
there are people like him that I've seen people who are just I don't think they're worth shit appearance wise. Them motherfuckers pull just as many, if not more, chicks than me. You know, that's just, and that actually was something that you are able to, being that you grew up in the age of human interaction, you got a leg up. You could actually talk to a chick and have an interesting conversation. So when maybe she may not have found you the hottest nigga in the goddamn bar, the idea that you were able to carry a conversation with a chick who's used to dealing with niggas who don't know how to fucking carry a conversation, that instantly sparks her interest. And you know how women are. Women just want to they want to be able to get something that they're not getting. Now she might have a nigga at the house. She might be bamming her back out, but nigga don't know how to talk to her about nothing. You whip out a CNN article and talk to her about that shit, you'll be bamming her back out. You know what I'm saying? It's all possible.
That's possible.
You know, it's all possible. I just feel like, you know, when it comes down to our interactions as humans, it's so dilapidated from what it once was.
Oh, definitely.
You know, things have pretty much crumbled by the wayside from what I'm used to seeing. And a lot of people don't really know what it's like, especially our youth. The youth, they probably are just like, well, I don't know what the hell they talking about. I would never talk to it. Why would I talk to a chick when I could just text? You know what I'm saying? I could go on the gram. If y'all are young and y'all are out here, next time you holler at a chick, don't tell her you only want her phone number or you don't want to talk to her. Okay? If she'd be like, what's your Instagram? Don't ask her for her Instagram. You know why? Because if you are getting her Instagram, I want you to think about this. You having her Instagram makes you as important to her as the number of followers she has. Meaning, you ain't important at all. Mm-hmm. If she got 10,000 followers, that's 10,000 followers that have the same instant interaction with her when she puts a picture up as you do. She's not going to look at your name any more than she's going to look at my name or Marty name or Mr. 96 name. She might not even know the difference between Professor High Kick and Average Video Game Joe. She just knows she got people checking her shit out, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But she'll give you her phone number, and this is how I always gauge shit, because I don't have all that shit. So I'll be like, listen, you give me your phone number, or, I ain't got no other way to really contact you. Because if you really fuck with me, I want to be able to call you. And this is my other thing about Facebook. Like, if I can't call or text you, I don't need to talk to you. Because anything else, you aren't worth my time. You know what I'm saying? What if I'm in an emergency and I need you, and all I got is your fucking Facebook, and you ain't around the internet? Well, now I'm dead. You know what I'm saying?
Now you're dead.
Or, what if I want to converse with you? I want to hear your voice. I want to talk to you. I want to converse about something that if we were on Twitter, the shit would look like we having a fucking argument. You know what I'm saying? Or why do I need to publicize everything that we discuss?
Man, I cannot stand that about text messaging. It's like, people will want to have these long, in-depth conversations with you via text. And I'm like, this is too much for me to type on my phone. Like, just call me or let me call you, and we can talk about this. And we can do it much faster than it will be if we just send text back and forth. But then, people don't want to do that. And that is annoying to no end. Like, I can't stand that.
Listen, man.
I really can't.
I just ain't one for the what's going on, Sismo? I'll get my Pokeball out the back. You can catch the hands. But anyway, the idea that these people are relying so heavily on things that don't matter, it makes it very hard to deal with things. What's going on, Mr. Daniel?
What's going on?
It makes it so hard to deal with these people, because I just come from a different school and train of thought, a different experience altogether.
Yeah.
And the idea that it's probably only going to get worse.
Oh, it's definitely going to get worse. I mean that's the trend as communication technology becomes more advanced. Human interaction has been on a decline, and those two have been on a parallel course with each other. So I mean, it is going to get worse. So you're definitely right about that. It's going to get worse. Like that trend is going to continue. So I mean, I don't really know what technologies are going to come in the future. I mean, hell, like maybe we'll have a thing where we can just communicate with our thoughts, like with like weird headbands or something. I mean, I don't know how technology is going to advance, but it might cut out the need to really communicate human to human without the technology altogether, because like what might happen is people will see how increasingly awkward that people are being talking to each other. And so then they'll be like, okay, well, we need to find a way to be able to get people to communicate without all this weirdness in between them. And so maybe
I'll probably be dead before all this stuff happens anyway.
I mean, I'm sure
Hopefully.
I mean, I know I will, but
hopefully I'll be out here before that happens.
Yeah, I mean, probably will be.
Yeah. Thoughts on virtual reality? I mean, I think virtual reality is cool for gaming. I don't know why I would want it for anything else. You know, virtual reality workplace would just mean I'm going to work and not getting the exercise from going to work, I guess, you know. I mean, I don't know that that's useful for anything but, you know, but gaming. Any experience in life I want to actually have. Virtual reality fucking, I would like to actually be fucking. You know what I'm saying? If that's the case, I might as well just watch porn and goddamn use these hands. You know, 5-finger discount.
Palmina.
Yeah. Pamela Henderson, you know what I'm saying?
Pamela Henderson,
get that thing right.
I mean, I guess, like, from a biological standpoint, the people would argue with you that, you know, well, if you simulate the brains in the right way using virtual reality, you are actually experiencing, because after all, that's all an experience is, right? Is a bunch of synapses that are going off in your brain that, you know, you're getting the feeling and stuff from. I mean, that's what the argument would be. Not
buying it, okay? Mainly because I can't afford it. Secondly, because I'm not buying it, okay? It's not my cup of tea. You know, the idea of appreciated bad intent. Listen, the idea to me of virtual reality is like this. That's the shit I want to know what it's like without having to deal with the consequences of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know what it's like to run around in a haunted house with a goddamn gun and get, you know, attacked by fucking zombies and feel really immersed. I don't want that shit to happen in real life. So I want to be able to stop this shit whenever I can. I don't know. Not obviously, I would be happy to not go to work, but I mean, I might as well go. You know, what? I'm gonna go to the virtual reality gym and act like I'm working out, and then only to look at myself in the mirror and get none of the results. You know what I'm saying? You know, why am I gonna go stab the damn virtual guts? And then, you know, I take my fucking headband off and my mama standing in front of me trying to hand me a dustpan and a broom. And goddamn little wife, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, you know, I can understand.
Why did it have to come to that?
Not the Seinfeld.
I'm just saying the idea is pretty dope, you know, in concept, but it'll never be better than the real thing. But that's because I'm a person who's lived through having to experience things in real life, having to have real life conversations with people, having to have interactions with people. You know, a person who grew up and all they knew is virtual reality, they wouldn't even see nothing wrong with it. They would think it was awkward.
Mm-hmm. Now, see, that actually is the Matrix, Christian. What I'm saying to you is that not necessarily to Matrix, but I mean, it's like that's what experiences are like. When you touch something, like that's what happens. Like that's how you experience touch. So it's like, you know, technically with a virtual reality machine, if they wired it to your brain to be able, you know, to make your brain respond, you would still be having those same experiences whatever in your brain, but like you wouldn't actually physically be doing it.
Except for the one thing that they won't be, I guess maybe if they go that far they could, but they're not going to be able to erase the fact that you know it ain't real. Like, you know, at the end of the day, I can watch as much porn as I want to watch and act like I fucked the brakes off a goddamn.
But see, there's a difference between like you just watching porn on like a computer and then something being wired to your brain to actually make you like feel.
Yeah, I feel like
those different things. So it's like you would, you know, your brain would be so immersed in it that you know you would feel that it's real. Like that's the theory behind it.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, like when you play a video game, that's virtual reality. While you're playing the video game, it feels real. You forget that you're immersed in the damn video game, even with bad graphics. Even if it had Nintendo 64 graphics, you know what I'm saying? You'll just you might feel like you're a Nintendo 64 character. You look down, you see your hands as blocky as fuck. You will get submerged in what's going on because our brain works like that. You know, our brain just puts shit together. But once you come out of that, I don't care what kind of experience you had. It might have been fun. You might have actually had heart palpitations. when you jumped off the goddamn cloud and you didn't think you was gonna land on that cliff and it looked like you was gonna fall in that blocky ass water? You know, you may have actually had genuine feelings of goddamn fear. At the end of the day, you know that you ain't really experienced shit. Once you take that thing off, you set it down, and you got to deal with the person that's in the mirror. You ain't Superman no more, nigga. You can fly while you got that shit on, but you ain't Superman. What you gonna do with your extra life? You know, what are you gonna do when you go to the bar? You can fuck all the pussy you want to in that goddamn virtual reality headset. But what you gonna do when you go to the bar and a real chick try to holler at you? You ain't gonna know what the fuck to do.
I mean, they could have a society like Demolition Man. Where they had like the sex
you talking about a situation where niggas running forever for trying to avoid taxes? You know what I'm saying? That's what that creates. Goddamn Demolition Man destroying the black man.
Taco Bell was the best shit you did.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Taco Bell is a delicacy. It was like a fine dining establishment. Yeah. That movie was hilarious. But I mean, who?
That's gotta be the next movie on Sunday.
Demolition.
Let's see what's on Netflix.
Isaac, let me tell you something, man. Being a virgin is not even an issue, bro. You know, that shit used to be an issue, but you know what? Fuck it, you a virgin. There's a lot more important things that you're gonna have to deal with in life. I don't know.
Important things.
I don't know how old you might be. I mean, if you're 40 years old, I'll just tell you to go get you a goddamn hooker and just get that shit out your system. You know what I'm saying? But if you're a virgin, you're probably better off than a nigga who got this first piece of pussy. Because once you get the pussy, there's no going back. Okay, you're gonna be goddamn, your nose gonna be wide open. You're gonna be following chicks around. You're gonna be trying to do everything to get back to the pussy.
Yeah.
If you bought the pussy, you're gonna be spending all your money trying to get back to it. You be working for the pussy on the weekend. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't really worry about that kind of shit. But if, you know what I'm saying, you know, if it becomes something that you just want to experience, you know, the idea is, you know, it's just, if you haven't seen many of these shows, the idea is this. Listen, brother, the pussy is important, but it ain't special, okay? And being that you're 24, you're probably young, you probably grew up around a lot of stuff we're talking about, so you're used to maybe the stuff that we find awkward, you may be used to it. You may not know much. Well, I guess 24, you was in the 90s still. So you may have been like 6 years old. You might have played outside. I don't really know. If, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, basically, sex is, it's overrated. And, you know, it's nothing you need until you get it, then you want it all the fucking time. You know, and it's kind of like you ain't never did cocaine, I'm assuming. You know, I'm sure you've never done crack. Maybe you have, but we're gonna assume you ain't done no crack. Pretty much the same thing. Crack, from what my dad tells me, it make you feel some kind of way that you'll never feel, that you just will not experience without it. But you could go without it. You know what I'm saying? You could go without it. And maybe one day when you're feeling in the mood, you might take some cocaine or some crack. You know what I'm saying? I'm not suggesting you do that.
Oh yeah.
But the pussy is the same way, bro.
That on this show.
You know what I'm saying? The pussy is the same way. Pussy is men crack, okay? Not plumber's crack. Two different things, okay?
Man crack.
Man crack. Once you get the goddamn pussy, you know, especially if it's your first time, you ain't never had the shit, you're probably gonna nut like a goddamn. You might impregnate somebody. You're thinking about all kind of crazy shit that might go on. You know, you ain't never felt the pussy before. That shit might blow up. Your dick might blow up right in your goddamn hands as you putting it in. So at the end of the day, you know, you just need to think about what's important to you. You're 24. Are you in school? Do you got a career going for yourself? Because listen, man, while women are great, they will deter you from the things that will make you a great person. Especially once you get that first piece. You know, I'm at a point where that shit don't matter to me. I'll turn a bitch down for some pussy. Like, listen, shit came over here not too long ago trying to give me some pussy. I was very straight on that shit. You know, I was actually very upset that she even wanted to fuck.
Oh,
you know,
upset. Really?
I was upset because I had other shit I needed to do.
That's me bad.
You know what I'm saying? Get that shit up out the way.
But to be upset about it,
I was upset because you think your pussy is more precious than what I got to do with my life. You know what I'm saying? You think your pussy mean that much to me? Fuck that shit.
Oh man.
You know, go get that shit to somebody else. I'm cool. You ain't my woman. You know what I mean? You know, I'm just saying, you know, but that's because I've been doing it for so goddamn long that, no, not the Indian chick. Oh, I ain't even want that shit. That shit came with too many problems.
That chick was been up out here.
Yeah, she been gone for a minute. But,
I mean, I don't think I've ever been upset at being offered sex. But I mean, I've definitely turned it down because I have more important things to do. But I mean, I've never gotten to the point where I've been upset that the woman offered. Where I'm just like, really, how dare you? I have things to do. How dare you offer me sex? Like, I never really been at that point.
I've been at that point, man. Listen, I got shit I got to take care of, Mark. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I gotta do goddamn Let's Talk Tuesday, and bitch in my goddamn here talking about wanna fuck. I ain't got time for no goddamn fucking. I got a show to do. Wait your goddamn turn, and then I'll get to you. If you got a problem with that, hit the fucking door. I got shit I need to do. I got to kick it with the chat.
For real.
You know, I get something out of this. This is stimulating conversation. I get to help people out like my boy Isaac. You know what I'm saying? I get to make a change in a man's life. You know, the way they think. Man or woman. I don't know. I guess man. He says Isaac. You know, I get to be something more special to a person than the idea that I'm going to stick my dick in something I already did. If it was new pussy, you know, now I ain't going to lie. If it was new pussy, we wouldn't be having this conversation. I would have dipped off in that thing, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
You know, if the pussy was A1, I can't even say that because pussy is not bad. But if it was A1,
it was A1.
And it was worthy of a little bit of my attention, I might have went in there and stabbed it about 4 times and then came back out here and had to do shit, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it's just pussy. You know, I got shit I need to do. And I gotta check the volume levels and shit. I gotta make sure that the outro gonna work right, you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure that the goddamn people are entertained. You know.
Oh man.
It just be like that. But you know, all that stems from my ability to have, you know, interact with people. You know, you know, I ain't nothing special. I ain't no millionaire. I ain't Fabio. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know who the fuck Fabio is. Half y'all probably ain't old enough to know it. I believe it ain't butter. I can't believe it butter is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you know, the idea is, what do I think? Mike, you think chicks be on their phone while taking it from behind nowadays? I don't know. A chick have any kind of feeling like that with me, I'm just gonna stop. You know what I'm saying?
Have a good night.
Yeah, it's like you can't be but so into this if you're gonna be sitting there on your phone.
You know, but I'm gonna just give y'all the real lowdown with me. More time than not, the chick wanna fuck me. I don't be really giving a fuck. Really, I just. You know, that should be great the first time. Maybe the second time is pretty good. If she's super fine, then I'm gonna fuck her with the lights on so I can look at a little pretty face and a little pretty body. Most of the time, y'all ain't never seen my room. That shit is dark as fuck. I don't even know if I'm sticking it in the right hole half the time. You know what I'm saying? As long as it's wet and it's tight, I'm okay. You know, I might be poking a fucking nostril out. You know what I'm saying? I might be exploding their goddamn eardrums. I don't know what the fuck I could be doing. You know what I'm saying? I might be fucking the back of her ankle. Yeah, I might be fucking the back of her knees. You know what I'm saying? She could have very sweaty knees in the back, and I could be fucking the back of the sweaty knees. I'm just saying, I don't really know. It'd be dark as fuck. You know what I'm saying? All I know is I enjoy that shit, and I keep it moving. But it ain't nothing special. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing that's gonna stop me from enjoying my life. I want to make sure, like Marty said earlier, like, make sure your brain is rocking. Make sure your brain is rocking, but make sure your brain is rocking. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you lose all your teeth and you goddamn in a wheelchair looking like Stephen Hawkins, if you got the mindset of Stephen Hawkins, I might want to fuck with you. I'm gonna fuck another bitch because you can't do shit. But you know what I'm saying? I'll let you know, and we'll continue. I'll stick it around with you because you got shit you can talk about. But if all you got is the top but you can't talk about no topics, then you got to stop it. You know what I'm saying? I'm only gonna call you up when it's time to smash.
Oh yeah, I tried that one time, man. Like I dated this shit.
You fucked somebody in the back of the kneecap?
That's not what we were even talking about.
Oh, my bad. I thought you was talking about replying to somebody in the chat.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I shit was replying to you.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I tried that once where I dated a girl that was like super fine, but she was an airhead, and
I already know that didn't go well, Marty.
that relationship lasted like a couple days, like maybe a week. Because I mean, she was super fine, but like,
hey, ain't that another thing?
I couldn't deal with that shit like at all. I was like, okay, well, this isn't gonna work.
That's another thing. I know Marty got to get ready to go pretty soon because it's 9 now.
Yeah, I gotta leave in about like 40 minutes.
Oh, 40 minutes, so we got a little time.
Yeah. My mom's flight got delayed. Like she said, she's not gonna be ready till like 10:15. So.
Okay, so we got a little time with you. But yeah, that goes into another thing that's very interesting. Like the things people let go to get what they want. You know what I'm saying? Like chicks might tell you they don't want no goddamn short nigga. Oh man, you ain't 6 feet. I can't fuck with you. Let Kevin Hart roll up on him. Oh, that nigga's got all the money.
All the money in the world.
He's got all the status. Them legs will fly open like a goddamn bicycle kick. You know what I'm saying? Like some niggas trying to do a damn hurricane run on somebody.
No. Flying open like the Liu Kang.
You damn right. Woo! Goddamn lips wide open and shit like a nigga laughing in a nightclub. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just like us dudes, man. When a chick is fine, boy, we'll let them slide with a lot of shit. I know I done been guilty of that shit. I done had a chick back in the day. I drove all the way to North Carolina. This bitch was fine, but she was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that chick.
Yeah.
Oh my.
She was
God.
bad, but she was crazy.
Super bad. Like
But
yo,
she was fucking crazy.
she was insane.
Oh yeah, I know.
I mean, she was like clinically insane.
Yeah, that shit was bad news.
Like when you showed me that when she was supposed to send you something for your birthday, and like you took like an hour and a half nap, and you showed me no text messages when you got up.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, this chick is nuts.
No, she was tripping, man. The junk just didn't make no fucking sense.
Oh my
Are you
god.
talking about the same one? We went on a date
Yeah, the one we went on a date with.
The worst, bro.
Listen, man, he was there when I had to drop her ass off.
She was bad as hell though, but like, but yeah, I bet like.
Listen,
She was crazy.
I was going up to North Carolina from here in the goddamn Escort.
Oh,
You know, I was
remember
taking
that shit,
chances,
yeah.
brother.
Taking chances.
I was taking chances in the Escort. Every other weekend, I was driving up that motherfucker.
How do you get to it?
I had to get to that motherfucking gut. Only to get up there, and for her to make me salty, and then right when I'm about to leave, give me some great pussy. You know what I'm saying? The pussy actually was, it was alright. It was alright. But she was so fine, it just made everything great.
She was ridiculously fine. Like that.
It made everything
Her body
great.
was correct. Oh boy.
Yeah, she
But yeah, nuts.
you know, it's funny how that works. Like nowadays, I don't know how I let a chick get away with that shit. But I do know I like a pretty chick. So I'm still a stickler for that shit. Like if I can't take a picture with you from the neck up and be satisfied with the product, I probably don't want to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? Your body could be banging, but all I'm gonna do is be banging your body. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna be content with going to lunch with you. You know what I'm saying?
Can't even be seen in public.
Destroyer, she went back up to Cleveland. I was supposed to go hang out with her for her birthday, but it was raining or some shit. You know what I'm saying? I ain't finna go out to no pool party and it's raining like a motherfucker. Oh yeah, Cleavage Browns on Twitter, one of the best names of all time. That's one of my high kick homegirls. Shout out to Cleavage Browns.
Cleavage Brown?
Yeah, holla at her.
Okay.
But yeah, man, you know, it was like I know nowadays I still ain't gonna put up with no bullshit. Like if you're gonna be fine, I'll probably give you some passes on a few things. But I know me as a person. That's only gonna last for so long.
That shit lasts like no time with me. Like I said, I tried that once. And
Marty said he already super straight.
I was ready to kill a woman by like day 4. And I was like, no, that's not happening. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, man. I mean, we, you know, that's kind of like one of my faults. Like, I'm just swept up in societal beauty, dog. You know, I want to look at a bitch and just be like, you know what, man? Yeah, that's the one. You know, I want people to want to try to take my chick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
okay.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want them to actually try to take my chick, but I want a nigga to be like, damn, you know, god damn, that nigga white, goddamn, look at that. But if it comes at the expense of my sanity, I will take a 5 any day. Okay? I actually have no problem with a 5. Which do I think is more important, being fine or if she's enthusiastic in the bed? I definitely am a freak, so she got to be down for everything. But she can't be no goddamn scutter whore, okay? She can't be no scutter whore, you know, some goddamn scallywag looking bitch. You know, I can't do nothing with that. If you want to goddamn suck my balls, you know, from here to goddamn Tuesday, but you look like Master Splinter, I ain't gonna even want you near my balls. You know what I'm saying? I can't have that shit. You know,
pull a boomerang, pull it down, comes back, make
Yeah,
your
boy.
clothes look good.
yeah, you know,
I got some crow feet. Got to go.
yeah, I can't be rolling around with that kind of shit. Now there are definitely things I can let go. You know, we on this show we pulled up a picture of a fine chick with one arm one day. She was bad. I ain't care if she ain't had nothing but one arm.
Oh yeah, I still never saw that.
Oh, you never saw
Oh,
it?
you never seen one arm chick?
Well, she was bad, boy. She could get it. She could have been missing both arms. She probably still could have got it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We just had to get somebody else in the room to give her a hand. You know what I'm saying? But in any event, you know, when a chick is, and she ain't even got to be super bad. I think if a chick's just pretty enough to me to where I can sit down in a restaurant and not look away from you. Like, that's my thing. Like, if you could be an average chick, really. I need you to be probably like a 6, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because a 6 in my book is pretty much like a 15 on the scale we made. You know, it's about a 17 on the scale. 1 to 30. So you got
a 30-point scale?
Yeah, because 1 to 10 is all the ugly bitches. Then 11 to like 20 is all the average bitches. And then 21 to 30 is all the fine chicks. So you could be a super fine average chick. Like a 19 is a super fine average chick.
Okay.
You know, or the ugliest fine chick you could be is 21. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, so it gives you a better way to scale it. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of chicks that are somewhere between 5 and 6 in the world. You know what I'm saying? And you can't just give them a 5 because they feel horrible about that shit. But a 6 they don't particularly feel that great about. But if they hear they like a 17, you know, which is essentially still like a 5.5. You know, they might like that shit. You know, but fuck it, I do it for me. It don't really matter.
I see.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, if as long as the chick, I can look at her and be content with what's across the table from me, I'm good. Now, if she comes with that extra shit, that goddamn fire in the bedroom, she might can make me not do Let's Talk Tuesday one day. That has happened. Believe it or not, that has happened over here before.
Yes, it has.
I don't know what I told y'all happened, but some substantial situation came about, and nigga had to handle some shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to give gas money to MARTY to go back home that day, man. You know what I'm saying? Nigga drove all the way down here from across town. I had to go like, listen, MARTY, my bad, brother. I got to give you gas money. You know what I'm saying? You know, things had happened, brother. You said, what happened to Tech and Tech? Tech and Tech is still around, brother. Oh, here we go. Is she watching the damn show?
Might be.
I'll tell you what.
Here we go.
I'm not answering this shit. Trying to throw me some goddamn guts. You all the way in a whole nother goddamn state. Get away from here with that shit. You know what I'm saying? When you get back here, maybe we could talk. But you know, I got things to do. Ain't got time for all that. Nah, Thursday is not a pussy day. Nah. Thursday, nah, just the last couple weeks a nigga been fucking up. You know what I'm saying? I was sick last week. Hell, MARTY can tell you, man. Last week he came in here on Thursday.
He's almost dead.
I ain't moved from my bed at all. Maybe I moved out the bed 2 times the whole day. Didn't eat no food. Friday rolled around. I still was down and out. You know what I'm saying? The Thursday before that, I don't even know what the fuck we did the Thursday before that. I don't know, but Tech and Tech is not dead. You know what I'm saying? It's just been on hiatus a little bit. But anyway, at the end of the day, man, you know, what I know about myself is, you know, to get back to the subject, you know, I just want people to actually get back to a point where it's commonplace to exchange, you know, words with one another.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't mean that you gotta go talk to every stranger and that you gotta entertain every conversation.
Yeah, you don't have to be like a master conversationalist.
Yeah. But you know, just, you know, if you're young, because this particularly happens to the younger people, you know, maybe if you've been secluded in your life, you know, you somehow managed to make it to my channel, because this is the realm of the real. Only the real can chill. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you're not used to being out there and being vocal. It helps you with so much in life. It's not even just to help you pick up chicks. It's to help you gauge a crowd that you're in. It helps you in situations when you go for a job interview, you know how to talk to people. You know, you don't sound like a goddamn scared little individual who's got no confidence in themselves. You know what I'm saying? You have that confidence built in you, instilled in you. You know, it helps you with, you know, stuff on your job, stuff in your daily life. Small talk, not actually the worst. If you're having a good conversation, small talk can become the best talk. Yeah. You know, you don't want to have talk that's completely meaningless, but it ain't nothing wrong with having small talk. You know, I mean, as long as there's a reason for it.
I mean, small talk can help you gauge someone as well. Yeah. I mean, there's lots of people that can't even give you a decent comment on like the weather or like the like last big thing that happened, and then you're just like, well, how am I going to even have a conversation with this person if they can't even answer this? So yeah, I mean, small talk has its uses.
Well, I mean, listen, see, that's what you're thinking about it. Like, how about this weather? Like a pickup line to enter into conversation with a person. But I mean, small talk doesn't even have to be there, or it could be there if you are genuine about your small talk. That's the difference. Being genuine about it, it don't matter what you say to somebody when you're genuine. If you really want to know about the weather, or if you really think it's a real nice day, a person can tell when you're just saying something to start a conversation, as opposed to when you really feel it. And I know this because this is how I talk to a lot of, you know, women. This is how I make a lot of friends, or, you know, just associate with a lot of people. Because, you know, I'll talk to you about anything. I might talk to you about 260 goddamn calories per bottle. You know what I'm saying? And find something about this goddamn Coca-Cola bottle right here. Shout out to Coca-Cola. Thanks for the sponsorship. Fuck Coca. But anyway, you know, finding anything to just converse with a person about, you never know where that can come from. Hell, small talk is the reason I'm an electrician. Because I talked to some random person and they told me about the electrical union, and guess what happened? I got a job in it.
It's actually funny you mentioned that. Small talk is how I got one of my first good paying sales jobs. Was I made small talk with a customer, and he was like, you know, you're really good at your job. Like, and he gave me his card, and then I started working for like a marketing firm, doing sales there, and it kind of went off from there. So small talk, yeah. As I said, small talk has its use.
Yeah, man. You know, it's amazing. You know, like I said, it's all about you know, your actual authenticity. You know, when it comes to conversing and, you know, really dealing with people, authenticity, that's something else that gets lost in a world where everybody's looking for, you know, clicks and likes in a superficial world. Authenticity doesn't mean really much of anything. She can't tell that you're authentically want to take her out and be the man of her dreams any more than the nigga who just is superficially calling her beautiful so she can talk to him. You know, she can't tell. She don't particularly care. You know, as long as both of y'all hit the likes, then it's good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, you can't be talking to any 4.0s. Gotta be 4.5s and up.
4.5s and up. You know what I'm saying? I'm a nigga ain't on the radio. I won't even have no pussy in them days. I'd be fucking old bitches. No, what would happen? I don't even know what the fuck I'd be doing. If I had to rely on my rating system, I'd be fucked up. I'd be a bum.
Yeah.
They'd be like, no, we can't fuck with this nigga. Take his ass to jail. This nigga's a .30.
I mean, that's what ended up happening to the chick. Like, didn't she
She
get
spazzed
incarcerated at the end?
Yeah, she spazzed out though. She was trying to kill a nigga. I don't think it had nothing to do with the points.
No, she wasn't trying to.
Yeah, she had the knife, and she was at the wedding and shit.
Huh?
And then she was.
No, like she had the.
Okay. They got pulled over?
No, she had the knife because she was trying to keep the dudes from removing her from the wedding because she was supposed to speak at the girl's wedding.
Well, I'm saying that's probably
like
why
her rating went down.
Well, I think that's probably why she went to jail. She was trespassing. I don't think it had nothing to do with the rating.
But I mean, like, okay, so she ended up becoming a trespasser because her rating went down. So she was supposed to speak at the person's wedding, and then like as she was trying to get there, things kept happening, and so people kept giving her lower ratings, and so then her friend or whatever called is like, look, don't speak at my wedding, like, you know, don't come because you're like a 3.0 now, or like a 3 something now, and there's a whole bunch of 4 5s and 4 6s here.
Yeah.
You can't come here. And but I mean, she was already almost there, and she had already gone through like all that crap to try to get there.
But she was a 3 or 2.
Yeah, it's like, but she was a 3 or a 2 or something.
Fuck that shit. That's what reality is becoming, really, Marty.
I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, that is exactly what reality is becoming. You go to talk to some younger chicks, bro. I don't even know what to be talking to them about. Like, I've had to sit down with one of these chicks, and she was like 22.
Yeah, exactly.
And I was like, man, I don't even like. It's not the normal gap where back in the day, you know, you could be 25 and talk to somebody. You could be 30 years old and talk to somebody 21 years old. And y'all might not have watched the same cartoons. You know, y'all might have to have the same political views or world view. But y'all can have a conversation about just stuff. You know, about stuff that affects everybody. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, if I was to talk to a 21-year-old chick, unless she is like heavily into the political sphere of, you know, the cyber world, you know, or she's like the quirky girl that has this spiritual sense side that she must be fulfilling. Like, they topical. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're either a political chick, all you can talk about is politics, but if I take you off that substance, you might not know what the fuck to talk about. You might be a spiritual ass chick, want to talk about damn glowing rocks and goddamn lotions and shit.
Like crystal healing.
Yeah, you might. Look, and that's cool, you know. I want to be able to talk about that shit. I'm open to all kinds of subjects. But I want to be able to talk to you about other shit. Outside of that, it's like if they're not into some specific lane, then most of the chicks are not into anything.
That's really weird. Like, and I know we touched on this slightly last time, but that's really weird. Like, I've always found that strange. How, like, women can just be into nothing. And that's just like an acceptable way of life. Like, I just think that's really strange. I mean, I have a lot of hobbies that I'm into. Like, I'm into music, I'm into writing, I'm into sports, I'm into anime, I play card games competitively. You know, used to play fighting games competitively, don't really do that much anymore. But
your name on the board.
I ain't on the board. Okay, whatever. I'll play Chrono then. But yeah, so, but you know, I have all these things that I'm interested in, all these things that I can talk about, and things like that. But then it's like I'm in the same boat with you. Like the younger women that I have talked to and almost gotten myself in trouble with, I guess, were, you know, at, you know, conventions or something that I've gone and talked to them. So it's like they have that specific lane of interest
Mm-hmm.
that they're into, and then so like that's the way in, and then it's like otherwise, yeah, a lot of girls, a lot of women are just into nothing specific, and that's kind of odd.
Mm-hmm. And I find that, you know, obviously that's more so with the younger generation because, you know, like I said, back in the day, everybody had to go for the same thing. So if you went out, like first off, people was going out to like women were actually going out to meet dudes, regular dudes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At some point in time in the past, women looked for regular dudes.
That's not,
you know,
as much the case anymore.
Yeah, nowadays, a chick go out looking for a dude, you can best believe she's not looking for you unless you are a baller, okay? That's just how it is. Now, she may give you the time of day because ain't no ballers around. You know, maybe she feels like she wants you to wet her palate, you know what I'm saying? So maybe you might buy her a drink or some shit, or that's what she might be hoping. Or maybe, you know, she could find you generally interesting if you assert yourself enough, you know, and then she doesn't think you're creepy right off Jump Street, you know. But for the most part, when it comes to, you know, the interaction, especially with the youth, it's kind of like, I don't got time to be dealing with you. I got to take this Snapchat of myself in the club.
Of myself drinking this drink.
Yeah, me in the club sitting down, or me in the bar sitting down, listening to loud music, not really doing anything. I've legitimately seen chicks be frowning, pick their phone up, do their hair like so, then take their phone and be.
Wow.
And then afterwards,
Set
show it to their friends. Yeah, okay, everything looks good. Hit the goddamn send or whatever the fuck they send. Set the phone back on the ground. Back on the table and go like this. But like, why the fuck are you even out here? Why did you come out here?
Because our society today is built on perception. It's built on perception. That's all it is. Like, you know, I was talking to somebody about this. It was on a different tip. That was on like societal problem tips, like, you know, racism and stuff like that. Not about, you know, women, but it was a perception issue because it's like, you know, we have a problem with perception in this country where it's more detrimental to some people to be perceived as something than it is to actually be. So it's like, for example, you talk about racism in America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, a lot of people think that like you can't be a racist unless like you're a Klan member and you're out on the street with the full Halloween costume on, you know, and you stick a cross in somebody's yard and burn it. So like you're a racist then, right? Or if you're like in some crazy overt fashion.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, but that's not true, right? Like we both know it's not true. So, but that's what the perception is. So as long as they don't meet that perception, then they're fine. And so it's like, oh no, I'm not this thing because this is what that thing is. And so it's like more detrimental to people to be perceived as something than to actually be something. And I don't know how we fix that or anything like that. Like I don't really know, but that's just like an issue that we have. So it's like, you know, oh, I have to be perceived as this certain thing because if I'm not, reality is so much worse. And I don't know how we come out of that. It's kind of an issue.
It takes society to want to come out of it, and I mean, you know, it's too beneficial to too many people for me to see it coming, you know, swinging back around anytime soon. You know, let's look at who benefits from it. Companies definitely benefit. Companies, corporations definitely benefit. You know, being able to put ads on all this shit that people are constantly going to generate that ad revenue. You know, let's say like the chicks, you know, they may get, or just people in general, they get the boost of ego by having people, you know, constantly compliment them, or by giving like you said, a perceived idea of who they are versus who they really are. She might be a fucking dime when the phone all the way up here. You know what I'm saying? She might be the prettiest chick you ever saw when the phone is off the screen. You know what I'm saying? You can only see her goddamn her face and like what looks like a slim neck. She might look super fine. You know what I'm saying? But what happened when you goddamn take that picture from the side or full frontal? Bitch might look like Medusa. Ain't no telling. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the thing, it's too much to benefit for those people. So it's like, okay, well, I don't want to have to go back to having to deal with what I actually am as a person. And so many people now are not anything. I'm nothing as a person. I'm a shell of a person. I don't have real interests. I don't have the fabric of a person who knows how to hold a conversation. I'm not built from that cloth. So why would I get rid of this thing why would I shun the thing that makes me feel the most comfortable? And unfortunately, I feel like it's an undying trend that...
Oh, I mean, yeah, that's part of the problem because, like, humans as they are don't really like change. They don't really like to change their rhythm or change their comfort zone or anything like that. So it would be difficult to try to get, society to just want to be different or whatever because, that goes against who we are as people. So that, like I said, it just feels almost like a catch-22. That feels almost like a loop. And
it's something that it's possible, will, like I said, will only get worse. I don't know how we'll make it any better. Or if the desire to make it better is going to be there by the masses. Eventually the people who really who even see this as a problem are people who are our age and older.
Pretty much, yeah.
We'll die. We're gonna die off.
Yep.
And unless the people below our realm or our age group, notice
see
it.
This is a problem as well. Then
if they don't signify it as the issue, then things will only get worse.
I mean, a lot of them are just gonna say, whatever. The future is now, old man, and all that stuff, and we're gonna have to deal with it and all that. And it's like, well, I guess so, because if you don't see it as a problem, being of a younger generation, then that issue won't get solved. Yeah, get in the box.
Shit, man. Dang, what the hell happened? I guess somebody accidentally got deleted or something. I don't know. But anyway, I do feel like the world it's got a long ways to go. And hopefully I don't know where it's going to end up. I always wish for the best, but who knows where it's going to be.
Who knows? So I guess for a closing topic, let's talk a little bit about this board.
Yeah, we got the board. So for you people who may have heard, if you watch Anakin stream, y'all might hear about the Tekken board over there. There's been a lot of controversy about,
yes,
when y'all don't have a board over there at East Point, how can you tell who's the best? You ain't the best if there ain't no number to it. So, hold on, we got some board talk. Hold on, who we got on this one?
Oh boy,
Just some questions.
Oh, just questions. No salt over there.
Oh, we got some questions about the board.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna talk about the board in a second. We're gonna address those questions. But basically, we have a Tekken board here. It's for the stream for the most part. For the most part, it is based off of, you know, the talent that we have here that comes here that plays on the stream on a pretty regular basis. Unlike over there where they got a top 10 board, we got a top 5 board, and then you have a double section. You got section, which is the runner-ups, and you got a section for, you know, the underclass. Basically, the underclass is, you know, it's. I wish I took a picture and put it down here, but I didn't, so y'all could see it. But basically, the underclass is 0 to 99 points, and it's a point-based board, so you don't have to worry about being a certain rank to fight other rank. Not until you get on the actual top 5. Pretty much, you play people in your, I guess, class. You can only level up by playing the people. You can only gain points by playing the people in your class. And then once you meet a certain point requirement, you move up to the next class. And then once you're in the runner-up class, you get a certain amount of points, and you get the same amount of points as the person that's number 5. You can challenge the gatekeeper or the person that's number 5 for their position. If you lose, your points get reset back to the 100 points that it takes to enter inside of the runner-up class. And if you happen to lose again, it will put you into the underclass because the amount that the points are worth in each section. So if you lose to somebody in the runner-ups class, I think the matches are worth 50 points. If you only got 100 to begin with, which everybody who started in underclass starts out with 50. Everyone in the runner-up starts out with 100. And then the 5 through 1, I just determined what the value was of those spots as of right now. No, I'm not a gatekeeper. Geo is the gatekeeper. But because he's not always around, we have the little thing where you have to have the same amount of points as the person. And once you have the same amount of points, you can attempt to play said number 5 person to get on the board. It looks like it's going to turn out to be pretty decent. Matches only count if you play them on stream. First to 5s or first to 10s, depending on what you agree on. That is depending on how your outcome is on the board.
Again, this nigga True sound look like Prince.
Oh shit.
Oh, man.
But yeah, pretty much for the most part, if you're new and you come over here, you're probably gonna be in underclass, unless I play you and I assess that your level of skill is on par with what I feel is a good runner-up. You might hold your own in the runner-up area. That's pretty much where you're gonna start. But it doesn't take a whole lot to get to the runner-ups.
Yeah, I mean, you only have to win 2 matches if you're starting in the underclass. So
yeah, you ain't gotta win a whole lot. What does happen is once you get to runner-up, you can easily get put back out of that junk real quick. And really, when it comes down to it, there's only gonna be the ability for so many people to actually get enough points to even attempt to challenge anything at one given time, unless everybody is on their shit and people are really playing, trying to come over and really get their stuff up. Who's at the top right now? I'm at the top over here. It's me, then Big Boy,
then Twan,
Mr. 96, then Shinku, and then Horror just won his spot. If y'all watched the other night when Horror played Zach Busa, they were playing a rank battle, and the winner of that, they got to get something to drink in this hot ass house. And they also got to be on the board as the 5th place placeholder. So right now Horror is the person that you can gun for, but you got to work your way up through the classes. Can I put 96 on the board twice? No, he's only on the board once. once with Geese and once with Gigas. No, I don't think it matters who you play with.
We can't even say that shit.
Kari.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, let me see what this is.
That might be the board, the picture.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. So that's the picture
right there. Iceman put a link to it.
Okay, yeah. So if you look there, that's pretty much what the board is. Under each person is their points. You know, pretty much what they have to wager is in the parentheses at the top for a win and a loss. And you know, that's who you're gonna have to contend with playing in order to get anywhere. If you are abstract and you want to play Dez can't. He won't affect your points. You won't affect points from him. Y'all will only be playing. You know, and that's to keep people of a higher skill level from preying on those below in order to advance. You know, and that also keeps things interesting. You know, it makes it where if you're down there and you want to make it up there, and somebody feels like you shouldn't be higher than them, then they're gonna actually have to play their way up there and play you and make sure that is correct. You know, if that ain't correct, you might show them that, hey, listen, nigga, I was the nigga on the bottom of the totem pole. Now I'm up at the top. What you gonna do about it? Give me them points, and you know, send them back to the underclass. So, you know, it's definitely experimental for right now, but I think it's gonna work out pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, it's definitely something I look forward to seeing how it works out. Rank battles are, you know, 1st to 5, maybe 1st to 10. It just really depends on what's going on. You know, we got a lot of rank battles to go. Maybe, you know, if you're going to be trying to do a challenge to get on the board, it might be a 1st to 10. Or if you're on the board, it may, like the 1 through 5 may be 1st to 10s. Everything else might be 1st to 5s. You know, just a way to keep the community, you know, charged up about, you know, really wanting to get good and advance. You know, then you don't have to have the question of where you stand. You can just prove where you stand.
Yeah, because you'll know. You know, you can prove it.
All right, and I mean, that's pretty much mostly. Oh, you said there was some questions over there.
I think you answered it.
Oh, I answered most of them. Okay.
No, it was just Chrono asking about, you know, how points are earned and what did he say? I think he asked about, yeah, can people from Underclass challenge runner-ups and all that stuff. You already answered that. And what happens when you go down to 0 on the board?
Oh, okay. When you go down to 0, you just ain't got no points. You're just gonna be in the underclass. I mean, you don't have anything to lose. People can only gain off you, I guess. Yeah.
I'm not gonna do a negative points or something.
No,
folks have to get out of debt.
No, that's too much.
That's way too much, bro. We ain't US Bank, bro.
Oh, no. I was just wondering.
Try to take this over shit.
I was just wondering because I know folks are gonna try to play me. And, you know.
Marty, you gonna be tearing
Marty,
folks up.
Marty, you motherfucker.
Marty gonna tear y'all ass
knock
up.
your ass out.
I don't know about all that. But.
Well, I ain't heard nothing from Boss Juice. I guess if you want to holler at me, you can hit me up. But
That's the one person I expected to be calling and having some mess to talk about.
He's probably
with that boy Los.
No, he knows what's up.
Oh, you know?
You already know.
He already knows what time it is. Okay.
Shit.
Okay.
Well, I appreciate y'all coming through tonight. I know Marty got to be on his way.
Yeah, sorry guys.
It's been great.
Dip out a little early.
I'm glad y'all. So you beat 6 underclassmen, you rank up to 5. You get to play. No, if you beat, if you get over 99 points, you'll go to runner-ups, and you'll have to play the people in the runner-up.
Yeah, so like you start with 50. So like after you win 2 matches in the underclass, you'll be in the runner-up, and then you would have to challenge people in your tier. So that stops people from like farming up points, or whatever, because like you'd be forced up into the next tier, and so then you would have to play whoever's there, or whatever, if you wanted to try to advance. And then if not, then you would get knocked back down. But since the point stakes are higher, the higher tier you go, you know, if you lose higher up, it's more detrimental to you because you lose more points and you have to win more matches in order to get back up to the next tier. So it's like if you started, you know, if you start as an underclassman, you win 2 and you move up, and then let's say you lose that one match or whatever, then you would lose the 50 points that you had, and you would go back to underclass. You'd have to win 2 more matches in order to try to move back up.
Yeah.
And then that's what's so detrimental about like trying to get into the top 5, because like, let's say, you know, with Horror has 300, right? Well, you have to win, what, 4 matches in order to match his points to go fight him. And then if you lose, you go back down to 100. So you have to win 4 more matches, and, you know, against people in your tier. So,
so you know, it's just something I thought might be a pretty interesting situation to thing to put in here. So, you know, we have the stream battle, so they're not just people over here just playing the game, you know, but they could actually be some stakes on the line, you know, make people actually play hard while they're over here.
Actually go home and practice.
Yeah, maybe go home and practice some stuff, you know, because once people's pride is on the line, you know, people start to take things a little more serious. Either that or they just be like, fuck it. But, you know, in any event, you know, it's I hope that it helps facilitate our community growing and getting better in general. Really appreciate everybody coming out, kicking it with me and Marty.
yeah.
Y'all know what's up with it. When a nigga says that, you know what time it is. It's time to whip on them credits that always take me 3 hours to figure out how to get these shits right. But
And yet we never prep them before it's time to go.
no, they just no. You gotta wait till you get to the page to prep the shit out. It should be taking forever. But it's been real, y'all. Till next time. Peace.
See y'all.
Oh, I will be hosting somebody, so don't just leave just yet. Let me find somebody.